Hello, you're welcome back. We are on day 5. So in today's tutorial, we learn more about table. We learn table attributes. What are the different attributes available in the table? So here is one example. You can see that here the columns are merged. Okay, so the three columns merged together and we make it a single cell. And we can also merge rows and make a single cell. That we'll learn more about in this section. It's more about tables and some other tags. First we'll recap. So we know like HTML is of tags. So the commands are called as a tags. There are many tags. We already know some tags. So in that HTML is a one tag. HTML indicate that it is a HTML file or HTML code is written in that. Then we talk about the 8 section. So in a 8 section we have a title and we'll have some more tags also that we'll discuss in a later stage. But at this moment 8 is basically and the title bar, or you want to pass some information about this page to the servers. So there that information is there in the 8. And then is a body. So body tag. So it contains the content. What you want to see on the browser. What you want to show in the browser. That is what the body tag is. Inside the body tag we can write all the content. Okay. So then we discussed about the image tag. So in image tag important attribute is a src, that is a source. Where is the file or where is the location of the file? Okay, so it can be a file name or you can also give the URL, that is a URL path, website address, and what is the file name. So that is also okay. So src indicating that where is this file, and it will take alt alt. So in case the picture is not visible, so we can put some text also, that we already seen, right? So the next one we discussed about the table. So we are continuing with the table today also. But what is table tag? Table tag, anything you want to display in the table format with rows and columns, then you have to use the table. So here is a table tag and the table tag will be closed. So by / table. And important thing is for each row you need to say as a tr. tr indicates the row and tr has to be closed. And then td, so that is a table data. So therefore here table data, so that is what the one cell. Okay, so it indicates the cell actually in this first row. So if you write something a here, so then that a will come in the first cell. So here is it is a. I want b, again you have to write td here and then you have to write the b. So there should be td here and then closing td and the same tr. So then b will come over here. So one more row you want, so we need to repeat this again. You have to copy and paste and then continue with that. Table. So we have attributes here. Table border is equal to 1. So we already know the border start with 0. 0 means there is no border. 1 means the basic single line border. And then we talk about the width, 500 pixels. So therefore this is the size. What is the width of the table? Then we closing the table. So we are discussing 2 attributes in the last class and we'll discuss more in this section, okay, in this video, right? And also we asked to write some exercise. So we get some exercise and hope you have done that. So we always insist you do more, okay? So you want to learn better, so that you need to do more exercise and you need to do more assignment and you try something, okay? So you plan something and then try. If you getting that whatever you expected same result, that's really good actually. Fine. So now, so table, as we know already, it will have a column. So these are the columns. So indicate one column, second column, third, fourth, and these are the rows, okay? First row, second row, and then like that. Table tag. Now width we already discussed, but width we discussed about the pixels, okay? What is the size? How many pixels of width you want? Now we're talking about the percentage. We can also give percentage. Percentage is always better. Why it is? Because if this is your browser, okay, so now the size of the browser, the width is 1366. 1366. At this moment the width is 1366. Now if we say the width is equal to 1366, then the table will come up to the end. Right. So next what happen if you reduce the browser size, okay, let's reduce the browser size to off, then only you can able to see the half of the table, but remaining half will not be visible. But when I say percentage, so again percentage will do the same job. So okay, so it's 100%. So whatever the browser, it will take 100%. Now if you reduce the browser size, again 100% of the whatever the size. Okay, now it's the pixel at this moment is 700. So it automatically adjusts to that particular size. So therefore width percentage will give a more advantage than the fixed value. Even if you are using in the mobile phone, or if you are using the tab, or if you are using in the laptop, the size may vary. So some resolution may be much bigger than this. Let's say 4000 some change. Okay. So in that case, this automatically fit to the complete browser. So the again width you can rise from the 1% to 100%. So what percent of width you want, that we can specify over there. So width is equal to percentage. So why percentage? So percentage means it automatically adjusts to the browser at that particular size. So if this size is 1366, then it becomes 1366. If this size becomes 700, it will become 700. If something like 400, so 4200, then it becomes 4200. So therefore we don't need to write based on the browser. So it automatically take that value. So therefore that is the advantage if you use the percentage value. So here is an example. So day 5 example 1. So this you need to write down. So I'll show it in Notepad++. Okay, here is a Notepad++. So you can pause this video, please write down this, and then you have to try. So I think you already have this program. So only thing is you need to check at the width. Width is 100%. Okay, so now you can see width is equal to 100%. This is what the changes we need to do. So in the previous example, here the value will be there. So that value instead of value, now you need to try for the percentage. So what percentage? 100%. 100% means end to end. So full screen. Now if you execute this, so you can see that in a browser, so the table comes at the full screen. So from this point to this point. So it's occupy the whole screen because it's a totally 100%. So we can change the percentage to any value. So 50%, 30%, 10%. And also this width is applicable for TD also. TD, table data. We can specify how much width should be first column, how much width should be second column, how much should be the third column. So in our case, we say 50%. So this is the table. Now you see that name take more and age take less. Okay. But if you say 50%, equally it will distribute the table into two parts. So this is 50% and then this is the remaining 50%. So therefore we need to specify the width in the TD table for the old table, TD for the particular column. Okay. So therefore this we need to specify in the table data. Right. So here is an example. So here is the width is 100%. So this is what same. And now TD width is equal to 50%. That is the first column width. And TD 50%. This is the second column width. And also this you need to specify in the first row itself. So in the first row, if you specify where TR starts, you have to specify that's okay. You don't need to specify in every row. So system automatically assign this value to the rest of the rows also. So here 50% and the width is 50%. Therefore both the columns are 50%. Now if you execute this in a browser, you can see that now it takes 50%. Okay, this is up to this one column, so 50%. The remaining one, so 50%. So up to this. So this is 50%. And the other one is also 50%. 50% and 50%. Right. So change the percentage, true. So we can change the percentage. Now what we do is we'll change the total table width is equal to 50%. Earlier it is 100%. We don't want 100%. So let's make 50%. And the column width, the first column should be 40% and the second one is a 10%. The first one is 40% and second one is a 10%. So please write down this line and then go to the file. So make the changes. Right. Now if you execute this, you can see that the first column, so this is the 50%. So the browser is still there on the right side. So in a browser, so up to this is the 50%. Okay. So I've not taken the rest of the part. So from here to here in the browser, the table level. Okay. So in a table level, we've taken 50%, 50% of the browser. So remaining 50% on this side. Okay. But table occupy only 50%. In this, the first column occupies the 40% because we told them 40%. So here is 40% up to this. And here it is a 10%. Okay, age is 10%. Right. So this I'll demonstrate late at the end also. Next one is align. Okay. So align attribute. So what is align? So basically align is where it should be. Okay, basically align to left, right or center. So align attribute used to align the table across the page. So across the page means if this is the page, okay, this is the browser, whether you want on the left side, otherwise you want a center, or you want on the right side. Okay, so if the table you want on left side, you have to specify left. If you want the table to be on center, you can say center, and you want the table to go on the right side, it should be on the right side. So how to do this? So here is an option. So is example 2 Day-5 E2. So example 2, we have border is equal to 1, width is equal to 50%. So it is in a table border, and then you have to say align is equal to center. And you can see that if you give the double quotes, it's okay. Even if you don't give the double quotes, is also is okay. A value if you put it in the quotes is good, but if you don't put it in the quotes also, it'll accept, not a problem. Right, so align center. So center means it should be in the center. Right, so rest of the things are same, but we are only adding the align attribute. Now when you say align is equal to center, so it's a double quotes and double quotes, center, right? So now if you execute this, you can see that table is in the center part. Okay, so therefore you can see that left side is empty, right side is empty. So this is 50%. Okay, table is at 50%. So it means, so now there is a 25% space on left side and 25% on the right side. Okay, you can see that. So 25% on the right side. So therefore this is occupied 50% and this is 25% and this is 25%. In this table again, this first column is take 40% and the second one is take the 10%. Okay, so this is how the table now align to the center. Align. So therefore you need to know one card as a align, A-L-I-G-N. Align the table, whether you want to align to the left or center or right. So three options. Fine. So now there is option called the right. Okay. So as I discussed already, align right. Align right, R-I-G-H-T, right side. Okay. So earlier we made a center, now right, and left is there. By default is a left. So even you don't specify left, it's okay. So now you can see that table move to the right side, and now you can see the total 50% of space is available here. 50% of width. So the rest of the 50% is a table width because we specify table width is a 50%, right? So this is on the right side now. So this the left side is empty, right side table occupied. So align attribute can also be used in TD, table data, to align the content. Okay. So if you use it in the table, then it is to align the table. If you use in a TD, then it is to align the content. So what are the content you write in the table so that you can align, right? So let's see the example. So here align will take left, center, right. So probably if you're already working in Word or any other editing software, we know like how to bring the left as a text to the left side or center or to the right side. So same thing is applicable here also. In a table, in a column, you want text to be on left side. By default is the left side, so therefore you don't need to worry. But I want to bring the text to the center, then it uses center. Or I want to bring this text to the right side, so I can use the right. For example, age. Okay, so age if align to right side is good, so therefore we need to use the right over there. So here is an example. So width is that align center, the table is in center. Now the width is 40%, here is the width is 10%. So then you can say align right. So this along with the width we specifying align right for the age. Okay, for age we are saying as a align is equal to right. So TD is the tag, width is equal to percentage. This is the name and this is the corresponding value. Then there is a space here. Okay, the next second attribute, then the corresponding value, then you are closing the tag. For one attribute or other attribute, you can give space, one space, two space. Okay, that doesn't matter. So but at least minimum one space is required. Fine. So here is an example. So width 100%, sorry, here is a 10% and align is equal to right. Align is equal to right. Now when execute this, so you can see that only age is go to the right side. Okay, so only age is moved to the right side, but the values are not moved. Only age is moved to the right side. Why it is? Because we are using the align right in the first row itself. So here is a row 1. Okay, so this is the R1, so row 1, but we are not used in the row 2 or row 3, row 4, row 5. So when I say align must be used in every row. So align should be used in every row, then only you can move the content to the right side. Whereas column width is concerned, okay, you can write in the first row, that will do the job. Now, so we copy this align is equal to right and we put in every TD. That is the second column, right? So when you say right, so therefore now this you can see that the values are moved to the right side. All the values are moved to the right side. This is how you can use align option in a table. So align attribute can also be used in TR to align the content. Okay. So now you can see that TD is a sub in the TR. So TD and then close TD. Fine. So now TR, if you use it in TR, it is applicable to all the TDs. If there is no specification here in the TD, then this whatever you specify align will be applicable to all the TDs. Number of TDs, any number of TDs inside the this TR. Okay. So this TR is closed over here. TR. Now, so this is applicable all the TDs inside the TR. How it looks. So here you can see that again align left, center, right to the same thing. So now we can see that instead of specifying in the TD width here, and we are not specified over here, but we move to the TR. In the TR we say align is equal to right. TR align is equal to right. Instead of TD we write in the TR. So once you write in the TR, so here you can see that align right. So but we are not specified in the TD, so we removed from this, right? Now what will happen? So you can see that both name and age both are moved to the right side. So for if we specify in a row, so both the TD values are moved to the right side. So therefore, if the complete table you want to move to the right side, so therefore you can always use in the TR. So if you have multiple columns, let's say there are 10, okay, in that 9 has to be right side, but 1 has to be left side. In that case, you need to specify in the first one align is equal to left and rest right is here only, okay, because this right is applicable to all the 9, but whatever you write in the first one, it will be applicable, okay. So therefore priority is whatever is there in the TD. After that, whatever is there in the TR. Okay. So this is about align. So align the text to the right side, center or left side. Next we'll move to the one more attribute called as a cell spacing. Cell spacing. So what is the name? Cell is the row and columns. Okay, so if this is the table and this is the row and these are the two columns. Now you can see that this is what one cell. Okay, so here is a cell 1 and this is the cell 2, cell 3, cell 4. Okay, there are 4 cells are there here. Cell spacing. Okay, so you can see that both the cells, okay, this cell and this cell are joined together now, or they are joined. So therefore cell spacing attribute is used to move the cells away from each other. So now if you want to send them to the little away from each other, okay, so this is the 1 and this is 2, okay, so this is 3 and this is 4. So this all comes under the one table. So therefore this is the same table, but I want to move away from each other. Cell spacing. What is the space between one cell to next cell to the border also? So this is a table border. So that border, okay. So you can move away from each other. For that you can use the cell spacing. Cell spacing. So cell spacing is equal to value. What value? So again it is in the table attribute. So it's a table level attribute. So therefore you have to specify in the table tag. So value can be 0 to any number. So when it says 0, then all the cells will be joined together. Okay. So therefore even there is no small gap also, a single line will come. Okay. So if we give 1, then there is a 1 pixel of space, a slight space we can see. So if we give 2 pixels, if we set 10, so 10 pixel of space. Okay. So here is value is equal to 10, here value is equal to 1, here value is equal to 0. So 0 means from one cell to other cell, it looked like a single line. Okay. So there is no 2 lines also, there is only a single line here, not 2 lines. Okay. And when you say 1, so you can easily see both the lines. When you say 10, so both the lines will be away from each other of the 10 pixels. So cell spacing is equal to 10. So we write an example over here. So here you can see that border align left and cell spacing is equal to 0. So first we say 0. So when you say 0, 0 means there is no space. 10 means, so here is space, spacing is 10. Okay. So when you execute this, you can see that there is a 10, okay, there is a 10 pixels of gap between one cell to other cell, and along with the border also. So along with the border, you can see that there is a gap. So that gap is cell spacing. Cell spacing. So you want move from one to other, then you have to use the cell spacing is equal to 10. So if you give more, they'll go away from each other. So then if you apply color also, then it looks much more better. So the color and more alignment we'll learn with the CSS also. So otherwise there is also BG color. I'll show you in the next example. Okay. Right. Next one is a cell padding. Cell padding attribute is used to give the space between content to the cell border. Content to the cell border. So whatever the text or pictures or video inside the cell, so that to the cell border, okay, cell border. So our outside is a table border. So this is the table border. Here is a cell. Here is a text, okay. So let's say A, B, C. Now this A, B, C, how much distance it's from the border? You want more distance, then you need to increase the cell padding. You want very near, then it go to 0. Therefore, again here, so the value can be 0 to any number. So you can keep on increase the value if you want to a longer distance. So here you can see that there is a cell spacing and then cell padding. So see, we are increasing the number of attributes here. So this is a table attribute. Border is equal to 1. So this is the first attribute. Width is equal to 50%. This is the second attribute. Align is equal to left. This is the third attribute. Cell spacing is equal to 10. This is another attribute, the fourth one. And this is the fifth one. And now you don't need to write in the same order. You can write wherever you want. Okay, you can write the cell padding first, border is equal to 1 and the last. That will do the job. There is no order here. What are the attributes you want to give? So you can write here. Only thing is take care there is a space over there. One attribute to other attribute. You can't join them. If you join, then it won't work actually. So there is no errors in the tags actually. It won't work. Okay, what the result you are expecting, the result will not come. So therefore see that there is a space over there. The space is important. Now you can see that from the text you can see there is a gap. Okay, so there is a 10. So bottom also there is a 10. So there is a gap. Even right side, left side, all the sides there is a gap. That is a cell padding. Okay, next we move on. So we learn about column span. Column span. So span is what? Consume. So you have to take that also. So column span attribute is used to consume the columns. Consume the columns. So what are the columns? Now if I take this table, okay. So assume there are 3 columns are there. Here is 1 and here is 1. But first one, we don't want the line here. I don't want the line over here. I want to make it a single line. Okay. So that is what I want to put the heading here. Okay. So let's say student data. So student data. Right. So now in next I want to make the line here. Then I want to make the rows. But this row, I don't want the lines. Okay. So I don't want the columns. Then column span will help us. So the column span is equal to 3 means it will consume the next columns and there is no lines over there. So we can write the complete heading utilizing the complete row. Or you want only 2, that you can use 2, or this side 2, that is also possible. So column span is to consume the next cell to the right side. Column span is equal to value. It's like attribute here also same thing. Column span is equal to value. Value is to number of columns in the table, any number of columns in the table. So it may be start with a 2 because 1 is no use. So when you say column span is equal to 1 means that much only. But when you say column span is equal to 2, if there are 4 columns are there in this table. So let's say this is the first column, second column, third and fourth. Now I want to say column span is equal to 2 here. So then it will consume the next one. And if you don't say anything, so then it is as it is. Right. So we'll see example. Maybe you'll get a complete idea of column span. So what is column span? You want to use the right side. Okay. You want to use the right side column and you don't want this line. Okay. So the line shouldn't come. Then you have to use the column span attribute. So here is an example. So column span you have to write in the TD. So you have to write in a TD. So here first we trying with row span. Okay. So here is row span. Let me check it out. So there is a row span, but I know, let me try with the column span only. So here is an example, column span is equal to 2. So what is this table? Student name, marks, and then Arun 80. So marks table. So now this student marks table heading, I want to put it in the first column. So I want to put it in the first row. So therefore we say column span is equal to 2. So in the TD we write column span is equal to 2. And then one more thing you need to observe is there is only one TD here. There is only one TD because second one we are consumed. Therefore we don't need to write it here. Whereas you can see the next row, there is one TD that is closed here. The one more TD is closed here. Okay, there are two TDs. But whereas in this, there is only one because the second one we are consumed here. We are want to consume that one. Therefore, you don't need to specify the TD here. So second column, you don't need to specify. So then only it will occupy the right side. So again, next row, again two TDs here. Right. So now if I execute this, you can see that I'll execute this. Now you can see that the table in the first row, both the columns are consumed and it becomes a single cell. So because this column span is equal to 2. Column span is equal to, A is equal to 2. So this cell consume the right side column. So now this marks table I can bring to center also, or you can take to the right side. So that is possible. So what important thing is, if I want to merge, okay, if I want to merge both the columns, then I can say column span is equal to 2. Column span is equal to 2. Then same way there is a row span. Row span attribute. Row span is to consume the bottom cell, okay, or next row, bottom row. Row span attribute is used to consume the rows, okay. So if this is a table, so I want to say day name here. So this is a day name. Okay, there are 2 days I want to write, okay, Monday and Tuesday. So here is a Monday and here is a Tuesday. But in this table, there are 2 columns, first column, second column, and there are 2 rows, okay. This is the first row, second row. But what happened, like, bottom row I want to consume. So therefore we can say row span. When you say row span, this bottom will be consumed and it put together become a one cell. And here is a different cell and here is a different cell. Right. So to consume the bottom, you can't consume the top actually. Only thing is you can consume the bottom. Right. So again, row span value will be 2. Minimum you can start with the 2 to any number of rows in the table. So what number of rows are there, that till that you can consume them. So here is a row span. Right. So now you can see that you are using the column span also and row span also. So then you can see that in the column span, the first row we are giving the heading as a row span example, and in second one we are consuming the second row, right? And then so you can see that in the third line, so this is the third row, we have only one TD, because so when you write like this, I want to display in the last example, right? So here this TD you don't need to write, only this TD you have to write. So whereas in this case, so here whatever the data has to come, so therefore you have to write this also and this also. But whereas in the second one, so we don't need to write. So first one we made as a column span, so therefore it consumes the both the columns, and here also we have only one TD. So now if you show in table, you can see this how it will come. So row span example, so it's consumed the bottom one, and here is empty, here is empty. Okay, there are 2 cells are there here. So let us fill some values. Let's make like this. Okay, so here is subject is a day-5 example 8. Okay, this is a 8th example. Subject column, test column, marks column. So in the subject, I have to write a subject physics, and this is the first column. So sorry, first test, second test, third test, and the corresponding marks is there. So here what we have done is we need to consume bottom 2 rows. Second, this is the first row. So this is the second row, third row, fourth row. From second to third, fourth, both you want to consume, and then we have to write physics over there. So how do we do this? So if you type in a notepad++, so again table tag. So this is a table, bot is equal to 1, which is 50, align left, spell spacing, cell padding. So all these parameters or all these attributes are okay. But now important one we want to do is a row span. Okay. So first row is concerned, we have all the 3 columns here. There is no change here. Fine. So it is done. Okay. So that is done. Second one, row span is equal to 3. So here you can see that row span is equal to 3. The first column is physics. Second one is first. Next one is a 56. Next one is a 56. But in a third, so this first, second, third, and fourth, we don't need to write the TD here. So this TD you need to skip. You only have to write the only two TDs. So the second column and the third column, because first column you are consuming here. Okay. So therefore second and then 45, third 85. So you need to understand when you're spanning something bottom, there the TD is not required. If you're spanning to right side TD is not required. So that's what important things you need to remember. So then only you can able to merge the cells. So here is an example. So it's executed subject physics, first, second, third, 56, 45, 85. So all these are there. Fine. So here you will see that we are consume the bottom rows and then bottom cells, and then we merge together and we make a one single cell. Fine. So let's try with this. Okay. Day-5 E9. So example 9. Here what you want to do is, so you can see that this is the first row, second row, third, fourth, fifth, sixth rows. Okay. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows are there. There are 6 rows. So in the first one, we want to consume 2. So here 2 rows has to be consumed. And second one, 4 rows up to 4 rows has to be consumed. And whereas here is concerned, columns are there, first column, second column, third, fourth, fifth column. So this is a 1, so this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5. So here we need to consume all these 2, 3, 4, 5 put together onto one single cell. Again we want individual cells. Again we want to combine them. So in this 3 as it is, but 4th and 5th you want to consume. Again individual. Again all the 3 has to be consumed. And rows are concerned 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So you want to consume the rows here. Right. Now how to write this? So let me write. So here is the thing you need to write. So there is a corresponding coding. So the table, okay, so you have a table tag and we have a closing table tag here. So that's fine. So then you have first row. This is the first row, right? So say first row, column span is equal to, row span is equal to 2. So therefore, here there are 2 rows has to be spanned here. So therefore, we say row span is equal to group name. So this is the group name, and TD again column span is row span is equal to 2 here. So you want to consume the 2 rows. So therefore 2 rows. Player name. So this is the player name. Next, you can see that we write column span is equal to 3, then participating in. Column span is equal to 3, participating in, and then we are not write any 2 more TDs. Okay, so this and this we are not writing here. We skip it. So therefore we have only 1, 2, 3 TDs. Okay, so this is the one row, one column, second column, and third column. So put together becomes a one column. Now what happened second row? So this row. So here only last 3 has to come. These 2 not necessary. Therefore, we don't write the first one. We don't write the second one. So the third one. So here is the third one. First game. Second game. So this is the second game. Third game. So this is the third game. Okay. Only last 3 TDs we return. So this we don't write this TD and this TD because it's consuming here. Right. So next one, group A. So here you can see that row span 4. You want to consume the bottom 4. Row span is equal to 4. And then Arun. So here is a Arun as it is. And then column span 3, yes. And then close the TD. So this yes, and then you close the TD, and we are not written any more TDs. So this becomes one column here. So again here also 1, 2, 3. For this row is concerned 3 columns. This is the one column, this is the one column, this is the one column. So that is done. Second one. So this is this is first. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3. So let's say 4 here. So 5, 6. Now fourth column is concerned. So it's already consumed. So therefore we don't need to write that TD. Kiran you have to write. So you can write Kiran. Yes you have to write. You can write yes here. And then both has to be consumed. Therefore you can write column span is equal to 2. And then no. Column span is equal to 2. Then no. So then we don't need to write one more TD here. So same thing for fifth one also. Therefore you can copy then paste. It becomes John, no, yes, no. So therefore 3 columns. Yes, no. So all the 3 columns has to come here. Next one, sixth one. So here is again there is no TD here because we are consuming it already. And sorry, here is Ali. So therefore change to Ali here. Then column span is equal to 3. Then no. So no, consuming all the 3 on the right side. Okay. So maybe take a little time for you. So write down this properly and then try it. So if you execute this, now you can see that you are getting the same result. Group name, group A, player name. So then participating in that you can say align right or align center, it will come to the center. There's no problem. First game, third game. And this you can make center also. So this is center means will come to center. Align we are not using, but if you use the align, we can bring to the center. Okay, so let us try with this little complicated one. Okay, so here what are the rows? How many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are 4 rows in this. 3, 4. How many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Okay, so therefore this is the first column, this is second column, third, fourth, fifth. So if you roughly assume there will be one line here, there should be line here, and there should be a line over there. There should be line here. There should be line here, and here also there should be a line. Okay, all the red lines are just drawn to make it as a complete table. Here also there is one more line, but wherever the red line is there, we don't want that line. So we want to remove that line. So in order to remove that line, we need to write the code. So this is the example, right? So here is the 5 rows. Okay, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 rows. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here there are only 4. Okay, where it will have 5. So 5 it won't have actually, right? So in everywhere it's only 4 columns. No, here, yeah, here it's 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here also 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whereas this is consuming right side, this is consuming right side. Fine. So first one, row span is equal to 3. Bottom 3 you want to consume. So therefore row span is equal to 3, 1. So 1 is written here, and then TD. Second one TD as it is because single cell. Next one row span 4. So here you can see 3. Here it should consume 4 up to 4. So therefore it is a 4. 5 we written here. Then column span 2. Column span is to right side. Okay. So therefore that is column span is to 6 we written here. So this completes the first row. Second row, because already consuming, there is no TD here. Then row span. So here 2 has to be consumed. So therefore we written column row span is equal to 2, then 3. Then it's already consumed, you don't need to write here. So then 7, so you write 7 here. Then 8, so again here you consider the row has to be spanned. So therefore you can say row span is equal to 9 it comes. So next one, here it is TR, so therefore there is no TD here. Here there is no TD, so therefore you don't need to write. So this also you don't need to write because it's already consumed. Only 8 has to be written, so therefore 8 is written here. And here also there is no need to write because it's already consumed. Therefore you can see that only one TD is enough here. So here only one TD is enough. Right, on the third row. And the fourth row is concerned. So therefore here column span. So therefore you need to span to the right side. Column span is equal to 4. And here you don't need to write. So therefore you don't write. And then both you have to consume. So therefore column span is equal to 2. Then 10. The value 10. And TD TR. Right, so please write down carefully, analyze it properly. So once you analyze, maybe it takes some time for you to understand the whole. Maybe you try for simple one, first you understand how row span works, how column span works, then easy for you to do this, and then you can make complicated one. So now once you complete the code and execute, you can see that this how it will comes. Okay, so same as it is, we are shown here also. So keep practice this. So once you get the result, it's really good. So assignment. So we are given some assignments here. So write down this, or in your textbooks if you have some tables, or in a newspaper if you have some tables, or you somewhere you see some tables, write down that. and try to do the same. So this is the first assignment. This is the second one. Please write down this and try to get the result. This is the next one. So another one. So you have to try all these things, okay? Because in IT, if you try, there is an experience. If you have more experience, you are more valuable. Generally, you can expect more salary. Right. So it's another example. So please complete all these examples. Let me know how do you feel, whether it's easy or difficult. If there is a difficulty, what kind of difficulty you are facing, write it in the comments. Okay. So if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. And you go to Highblix, you right click here and then open a new tab. So therefore you can see all the videos of our channel, watch all the videos. And this tutorial is concerned, you can start from beginning also. So we are the day 5 now. So you start from the day 1 and you please write it in a comment. You want to say something to us, and please share this video with your friends and family members who wish to learn. Even anybody over in high school or PU or degree, they can able to learn. Okay. So if they learn thoroughly, that is really good. So we can move to the web programming. We started the HTML, but we can go up to Python. But basics should be very strong. Once you know basics, then easy for you to learn the rest of the things. Therefore, keep practice everything and also help us to reach more people. So you can reach us with this email ID or WhatsApp. And thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again in the next video. Thank you very much.